at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
What if I told you that Bigfoot is real and that he's making the best donuts you've ever had? Come see for yourself at Bigfoot's Little Donuts. Come in and order from over 50 flavors, all made hot and delicious. Ranked in the top 100 donut shops in the nation by Yelp. Bigfoot Little Donuts. Order in store or online at BigfootsLittleDonuts.com for pickup or delivery from Grub South or DoorDash. South Parkway, Huntsville, and County Line Road, Madison. Bigfoot's Little Donuts. Since 1986, Full Moon Barbecue has been cooking quality meats low and slow over a hickory wood-fired pit. From ribs and wings, brisket, turkey, catfish, and sausage to the best butts in town. If you're planning a holiday or a birthday party, Full Moon has a large banquet room. And Full Moon is ready for your next catering or tailgate. Just call us and we'll take care of everything. 256-713-0070. Full Moon Barbecue on the Parkway next to Costco. The best little pork house in Alabama.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Forgiveness. Wow, what a word. What a gift. All of us have done things in our lives that we regret. All of us have done things that are disobedient. All of us have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Thank God for his forgiveness. Thank God that he separates our sins as far as the east is from the west and remembers them no more. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of Cross Point Church, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison. Check us out at cpcfamily.org.
Not looking or feeling your best? No energy for the things you like to do? Ready to look and feel younger? Make your appointment at Advanced Life Clinic, one of the region's foremost destinations for patients interested in looking and feeling their best. Specializing in advanced laser treatments and weight loss, male and female rejuvenation to offset the effects of aging, and more. See how Advanced Life Clinic can help you enjoy your life again. Call 256-882-6555 or log on advancedlifeclinic.com.
The field is set, and your bracket predictions are hopefully done. The 2024 Big Dance tips off tomorrow and Wednesday, with first four games from Dayton. Then on Thursday, all-day first-round action gets underway from Charlotte, Omaha, Pittsburgh, and Salt Lake City. To make sure you don't miss any of the action, stay tuned for Westwood One's exclusive coverage of the NCAA men's and women's tournaments right here.
This hour is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore. Welcome to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, 256-576-4977.
That's how I roll. And I'm not going to drink and drive anymore.
That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Wes and Steve.
So when I last left you, I told you I was going to turn on the fans in Fort Lauderdale. Unfortunately, I had to unplug that fan, and evidently the warm air did not make it up here into the Tennessee Valley. Hope everyone is having themselves a decent Monday, although always got to love that little cold spell right before we really I was told that spring hits tomorrow night, and hopefully Mother Nature can oblige. As you heard right there before we cranked up, we are your home for the NCAA tournament. This means it will affect this program tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Tomorrow, a 30-minute endeavor leading into the first four, and that will consist, I believe, of, I know, Wagner and Howard. Not sure of the second game, but then on Wednesday, also a shortened show that will stop at 5:30, and we'll have the other half of the first four. And then, of course, Thursday is the first day of the tournament, according to Tom Abraham. So we'll begin our coverage at 11 a.m. on Thursday, and it'll be about a 13-hour marathon. Likewise, just a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If you have a honey-do list or you're just out and about away from a television, going to the furniture factory, going to Baumhauer's, whatever the case may be, Full Moon Barbecue. They've got a lot of televisions over there. But just keep us on right here, and we've got a lot to sift through. And by the way, so I've got my bracket, a printed bracket in front of me, and that's at the old Rush Limbaugh ism right there. Rest in peace there, Rush. But nonetheless,
as long as we're here, it doesn't matter where here is.
Yes, but nonetheless, we're going to go game by game over the next hour. No, we're not going to go game by game. I'm not that guy.
Suits me fine. I'm paid by the hour, so go for it.
I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. But I do certainly congratulations to the Auburn Tigers as Auburn cuts down the nets in Nashville. And if you don't believe me, SEC Radio Network.
19 seconds left. Celebration begins. The Auburn Tigers, for the third time ever, are SEC tournament champs. 86-67. They blast the Gators, and the Tigers are headed to the big dance with an SEC tournament title and a 27-win season. 1985, 2019, and 2024. Auburn SEC tourney title champs.
And, of course, you heard that right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Bama, again, one and done. Like the kids John Calipari tries to recruit. One and done there for Bama, as they have struggled a bit here in the month of March. Their only win so far in the month of March needed overtime on their home court. The voice of the Crimson Tide, Chris Stewart, is going to join us in 10 minutes' time. But I did want to play a little bit of what Bubba Cunningham had to say. This is from CBS Sports Channel last night. This is not the show on the big boy HNT here locally. This is on CBS Sports Network. It's a prolonged conversation. Just wanted to play a couple of questions and just give you an idea what Bubba Cunningham was looking at, because there are some certain teams, most notably for me, Virginia, that don't deserve to be in this tournament. But, I mean, every time someone says that, I immediately hear and knee-jerk reaction, well, who would you kick out? Well, who would you kick? So Virginia, for me, would be the team I would kick out, and a team like Indiana State, I would rather have seen Indiana State in there. But also with three Big East schools, I mean, the Big East Conference, if you are at all a hoop head, and there are two conferences I pay attention to the most, SEC for obvious reasons, although I will say it is getting more and more enjoyable to watch SEC basketball here over the last 7 years. So it's fun brand of basketball, but the Big East has all, it's amazing because of the different versions of the Big East that we have had, but it is always fun to watch Big East basketball. I grew up on Big Monday. I don't know if you grew up on Big Monday, but Big Monday was a thing where it was Villanova, St. John's, or Georgetown. Big Monday was a big deal for me growing up because it was just a lot of fun because of the coaches' personalities too. I'm getting off on a tangent. Here is Bubba Cunningham on putting this field together.
You know, it was actually a wonderful experience. The most challenging thing about what we did was recognizing that we didn't have as many spots this year for at-large teams as we've had in the past. And so we knew we were going to disappoint a number of different teams. We saw jubilation yesterday as teams won conference championships, and that was so much excitement. And you knew today when you didn't have those spots to fill, it was going to be disappointing for some. And we had great debate about which ones were going to get in and which ones we had to leave on the sideline. And you've seen the bracket, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you have about it.
Bubba, this is Gary Parrish. Florida Atlantic comes in as an 8 seed. A lot of people had them on the bubble while recognizing this is a very tough job. FAU is a team that couldn't win the 9th best league in the country, couldn't win the 9th best league tournament in the country, and had multiple losses outside of the first 2 quadrants. How did we reach a conclusion that FAU is a top 8 seed?
That's a great question. You know, FAU did have a great year. It was a transition year for them to the American. They had a couple of really good wins early in the season. Then they had a couple of odd losses that they were head scratchers for us. But we still looked at their entire body of work for the year, and we thought that they certainly deserved to be in. And then we obviously put them at that seed after we scrubbed it with the rest of the field.
That is a little bit of Bubba Cunningham again last night on CBS Sports Network. So you want to hear experts breaking down the game. I don't know. Someone called in on the morning show. I filled in for Scott Tyson this morning, saying they filled out 26 different brackets. I'm not that guy either. I'm lucky to get one. And by the way, feel free to join our bracket challenge, brought to you by Talent Heating and Air. But I have no doubt my moniker will once again be last place Moulton for a reason. Maybe I can get my wife to join again. She won it a handful of years ago when we had the old ownership group here. Still waiting for that top prize. My wife is still waiting for that top prize. I think it was supposed to be $100,000. I think, yeah, maybe $100,000. I'm kidding. I'm only kidding. But here is a little breakdown from the experts at CBS Sports Network on the North Carolina bracket. And that is the West bracket for those of you keeping score. And here is North Carolina will be in Charlotte out of the gate, taking on the Howard Wagner winner.
But who knows? A veteran team in the NCAA tournament, maybe they can turn it on for 40 minutes against Carolina.
Chris? Listen, I'm going to go with the Crimson Tide.
Yeah.
You know, I actually believe that Carolina won't get to Arizona. Ooh. And I believe that the team that shoots threes at the volume that they do, the way they defend, they play in a power league. You know, there's 4 teams that were tied for second place in that league, and it's probably the second best league in the country, right? And I think Carolina, again, getting to the championship's great. They did win the league, but there are times that I believe that they're very vulnerable. They got a lot of experience, but at the end of the day, in the NCAA tournament, it's about momentum, right? So a team like Alabama, they get ahead, they shoot threes, they run up and down. You can't control the pace on them. If it gets out of hand, I'm telling you right now, it'll be tough for Carolina to be in the gym because they both like to run. And if you're in a running match, I'm taking the Crimson Tide.
Yeah. That is a little bit of the experts there on Bama. But the last time the Auburn Tigers cut down the nets in Nashville, they went to the Final Four. So a lot of good momentum for Bruce Pearl's team, who, by the way, won his 200th career game on the D1 level. So congratulations there to Coach Pearl. Let's take an early timeout. The voice of the Crimson Tide, Chris Stewart, a.k.a. Snowman, joins us next.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hi, folks. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, inviting you to come test drive any one of our over 100 F-150s. From rock-solid, dependable work trucks to our state-of-the-art Platinum Series, we've got an F-150 for you. Test drive one today, and you'll understand why the F-150 is the best-selling truck in America, going on 48 years in a row. Just as successful offenses and defenses are built on teamwork, Woody Anderson Ford is powered by our people. Our sales and service teams are well-trained to save you time and money. And because we want your business again and again, no one will work harder to earn it. Our mobile service teams come to your home or business for oil changes, brake work, tire rotations, and more. And the great thing is you don't pay extra for it. We come to you with mobile service at no extra charge. Proud to be local, family-owned, and at your service for over 62 years. Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore.
Eagle Masonry and Installation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance to the home builders and the homeowners of the Huntsville area, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Coleman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
When I chose a garage door company, I did my homework. I needed Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. They have a 5-star Google rating. I checked their reviews and liked what their customers had to say. Precision Overhead Garage Door has lifetime warranty packages. Same-day service if I call before 2 p.m. If they can't make it the same day, my service call fee the next day is waived. They did a 25-point safety inspection on the door and operator. Now that's peace of mind. Residential, commercial, and gate services. Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. Call 256-400-4500.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up. Football season and Bad Daddy's Burger Bar. The perfect combination of good times and great food. This season, score big with one of our chef-inspired expressions of pure burger amazingness. Our delicious burgers are made with premium Angus beef, and you can pair it with one of our signature cocktails or a cold craft beer from our huge selection. Bad Daddy's Burger Bar on the Parkway in Huntsville and our new location at Cliff Farm, Highway 72 in Madison.
The field is set, and your bracket predictions are hopefully done. The 2024 Big Dance tips off tomorrow and Wednesday with first 4 games from Dayton. Then on Thursday, all-day first-round action gets underway from Charlotte, Omaha, Pittsburgh, and Salt Lake City. To make sure you don't miss any of the action, stay tuned for Westwood One's exclusive coverage of the NCAA men's and women's tournaments right here.
This segment of The Drive is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, located online at WoodyAndersonFord.com with 2 locations, Hughes Road in Madison and Jordan Lane in Huntsville.
Eastbound and down, loaded up and trucking. Are we gonna do what they say can't be done? We've got a long way to go and a short time to get there. I'm eastbound, just watch no bandit run. Keep your foot hard on the pedal, son, never mind them brakes. Let it all hang out, cause we got a run to make. The boys are thirsty in Atlanta, and there's beer in Texarkana, and we'll bring it back no matter what it takes. Eastbound and down, loaded up and trucking. Are we gonna do what they say can't be done? We've got a long way to go and a short time to get there. I'm eastbound, just watch old bandit run.
And we welcome you back inside The Drive here on a Monday, flying a solo here today. We are your home for the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Big weekend for Bama baseball as they are able to come from behind. Boy, they got beat pretty good on Friday, but back-to-back wins for the Crimson Tide Saturday and Sunday. Also, some news that have come from Bama Online's Charlie Potter on the new agreement between Kalen DeBoer and the University of Alabama. So Kalen DeBoer made $4.2 annually at Washington. Well, he gets a nice little bump up, as according to Charlie, the contract pays Kalen DeBoer $10 million this first year, and then up to $11.75 million in year 8. So not too shabby. And on the basketball side, Nate Oates has agreed to a contract extension with the Crimson Tide that is putting him tied with the Crimson Tide through March of 2030. So clearly, but you make 4 consecutive NCAA tournaments. That this is the kind of ground that you get to reap the rewards off of the hard work that Nate Oates has put into the program down there at the Capstone. So, and by the way, we will have Chris's call coming up on Friday as Alabama in the West bracket, making their way out to Spokane, is going to play the conference winners of the College of Charleston, a very high-tempo offense. So it's a lot of up and down there for both teams. So that ought to be a very entertaining game, and you'll be able to listen to it right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. And we are your home for the entire NCAA tournament as well, and beginning tomorrow with the first 4. First game out of the gate is Wagner and Howard, but 5:30 tomorrow will be the handoff from us to Westwood 1 for the NCAA tournament. Plus, which you also have a chance to. Brian, I was told 2 minutes on Chris, so just letting you know what I know.
Fantastic.
So, since we have a couple of minutes, let's let you listen into a little bit of what Rick Barnes had to say as Tennessee. Are they the highest seed? I believe they are the highest seed from the SEC in this tournament. Tennessee is a 2 seed taking on St. Peter's. Here's a little bit of Rick Barnes last night on CBS Sports.
What about Dalton Connect? Nobody, with the exception of the last game. But besides the last game when you guys got knocked out of the SEC tournament, Dalton Connect has been sensational. Can you tell us what makes him so special in your mind?
Well, one, he's an extremely hard worker. I mean, he's one of those guys, you come back in the facility at 10:30 at night, he's going to be in here shooting. If not, he'll be in the ice bath. I mean, he does work at it. And, he's a very humble kid. He came in and embraced himself with his teammates. They embraced him. And he just none of us could have predicted what he did. But as time went on, he started showing us some things that, again, we couldn't predict.
Coach, how do you recalibrate your guys after the tough loss in the SEC tournament and get them ready for the big dance and the biggest games of the season coming up?
Wally, that's a good question. I've been doing this a long time and actually had so many different ways I could talk to them about it. But, the year that our Texas team went to the Final Four, we lost in the first round of the tournament. And you go back to this weekend, how many teams that won the conference championship this weekend got upset, got beat. And our league is so good, I don't know if I would call it an upset other than the fact we won the regular season. Mississippi State's a terrific team. Auburn, everybody in our league on any given night, really, you look at it. I mean, you go back to our league about, probably 3 weeks ago, they were talking maybe 8, 9 teams, maybe 10, but with LSU and Ole Miss was right there too, but we all kind of beat up on each other here at the end. But you know what? Our league has got us ready, hopefully, and it's been the best year of SEC basketball, and I hope now that we can get in the tournament and do something.
That is a little bit of Rick Barnes, again, courtesy of CBS Sports. There's only one way to introduce our next guest. Where did I put it?
Well, the more wheels you got, the better I like it. I'm the brother of a truck driving mother. Boogity, 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 boogity.
Snowman, how you doing today?
I'm good, buddy. How you doing?
I'm good. It's the voice of the Crimson Tide, Chris Stewart, joining us. All right, we're just going to play this on a loop, I guess.
That's fine with me, brother. I love it.
Hold on to your head, Fred.
Yeah.
So good. So good. Great stuff.
Tell me a little bit about this season from your perspective, Chris. I know that's kind of a broad question, and everybody's focused on the tournament, but what has this season been like from your perspective?
Fantastic. Very different from last year, but at the same time, amazed at how similar it was. A team that was right back in the mix, despite the fact that you got 9 new guys and only 3 guys that had been there the previous year, but no more than 1 year's of experience in Tuscaloosa themselves. So for Nate Oates to do that with, oh, by the way, a brand new coaching staff also is, to me, I know there are other guys that they wanted to go with for Coach of the Year, but I will say that what he accomplished was on par or in excess of what anybody else around the nation did. It's incredible to lose that much and yet not truly lose a beat. A game out of first for what would have been back-to-back titles in 3 out of 4 years. Just amazing. Yeah. And, I still think that this team was playing its best basketball of the year when Latrell Wrightsell got hurt and threw him off rhythm. And I'm not going to be shocked if they're not able to get healthy, get back in shape, and get back in rhythm in time to do some serious damage in this tournament coming up, and I'm excited to see it.
So down the stretch here, just one win here in March, which I know a limited sample size, but it took overtime there in Arkansas. And I know injuries have certainly played a factor, Chris, but tell me what you've seen recently, and is this team, you think, going to be ready health-wise on Friday?
Health-wise, yes. Are they able to get back in the rhythm of things like they were before to get through the next 2 ball games unscathed and it be a Sweet 16 team and then truly be rolling as they go into it? We're not going to know until they actually play. But I think health-wise, yes. The guys that have played have not played maybe at the level they're capable of, but I think that does in part go back to what we were just talking about. Yeah. The fact that, Mark Sears and Aaron Estrada are asked to play more minutes than they needed to at this time of the year, and we're not as sharp, and that's because Wrightsell and then Rylan Griffin are not available. Grant Nelson's got to play without fouling because that put more of the strain on a front court that already, Grant was the closest thing to a rim protector. I know Nick can jump out of the gym, but he's not a true shot blocker in the sense that we normally would think of, and certainly not at the level that Charles Bediako was. And I thought at times Grant was becoming that for this team, but unfortunately not able to stay on the floor because of foul trouble and be a presence inside consistently. So they've got to defend first and foremost. They've also got to do it without fouling. And when they do that, guys, they're about as good as you'll find. But they didn't do that on a consistent enough level to be able to finish things off and win a championship. And extremely hopeful that they'll do that at a much better clip. If not, the season's going to come to a close on whatever day or night they're not able to do that on both ends of the floor. This is the time of the year where if you're not at your best, the likelihood of advancing is very, very slim.
Talking to the voice of the Tide Crimson Tide, Chris Stewart, right now on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Boy, I just stumbled over that one. How has the game changed, you think, with this new block charge rule?
I think the way it's called has changed it, Steve. I don't fault the officials.
Yeah.
I truly don't, because what they're asked to do now, here we are, we're telling them, hey, wait on this, but if the ball didn't go in the basket, then call the foul. Well, good night. You're asking three components.
Yeah.
You're asking them to basically do replay in their minds.
Yeah.
And then we're going to critique them based on the replay that we do get. So, all of us as viewers or courtside as we're watching and we get that, it's an incredibly tough rule to enforce. It's incredibly tough what they're asking of them. And I contend either it's a foul or it's not.
Yeah.
So we're saying that you're not going to blow the whistle if the ball goes in. Well, heck, it's
an and one.
That should be an and one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And not that you don't still have that on occasion, but if there's doubt, they've got a tough enough job as it is. I think we're making it even more difficult for them.
I agree wholeheartedly. And just to add on to the, for fans that just want to see March and or maybe are not up to speed on it, it feels a lot different, but you and I both know how differently tournament basketball is called compared to the regular season.
Well, it is, and you don't know what you're going to get calling it. You've got leagues that are called different ways. So you may have a quick whistle. You may have guys that allow you to beat each other to death, and that can be difficult as well. Now, frankly, that's not all that different from what you face within your own league based on who the officials are. But it is one of the bigger challenges, and whoever stays out of foul trouble best is the one that's usually most successful. But it's also where a team like Alabama, well, you better be making shots too, because that is, if you're going to the rim and you're drawing contact, that's huge. That's fantastic. If you're drawing whistles, if you're going in, you're drawing contact, but you're not getting whistles, and you're struggling from the perimeter, then you got your work cut out for you.
Yeah. What do you know about College of Charleston? I know it's Monday, and we're talking about Friday.
I'll be completely honest.
Yeah.
I don't know squat other than they've got a good record and a good history.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about who and what they are currently. Bobby Crimmins was coaching. They were really good.
Yeah, I remember that.
They still are. They got in.
Yeah.
They still are. We were in the last time I got to go to Maui for the Maui Invitational. Mark Gottfried was still coaching, and Bobby Crimmins was coaching Charleston at the time. I rode a shuttle with him. Beyond that, I got nothing for you, Steve. I'm sorry.
Okay, Snowman. Well, what's coming up on? What's coming up on? Hey, Coach, you're at the top of the hour, since we can do a preview of that.
We can. We're going to talk gymnastics and men's basketball. Nate Oates has got a little work to do, so he's not going to be on site with us. He'll be joining us by phone. But Mohamed Diabate is going to be joining us, and look forward to. I really enjoy having the players on. We get a chance to visit with them and maybe spend more time than we normally would in that regard. But these have been fun, and I'm literally sitting in the parking lot at Baumhauer's about to walk in and go get ready and do the show.
A go-to meal tonight then for you, Chris Stewart. What are you jonesing for? Lately for me, it has been the black and white chicken.
Black and white chicken is always great with the rice.
Yeah.
And
broccoli.
That is a good one for me. I'm never going to go wrong with wings with the creators of them.
Raging Cajun for me right there, by the way. Look, man, I'm a big fan of their salads too. Uh-oh.
So I don't go wrong. And they got a cheeseburger that's fantastic too. So, or multiple cheeseburgers that are. So I'm not going to go wrong at Bob's. You know that.
Well, we'll look forward to hearing you at the top of the hour, and thank you so much for hopping on with us, sir.
Yeah, I'm glad to do it. Please accept my apology for being late joining you, but I'm glad to be on with you, buddy.
No worries. No worries. Have a good call Friday, and we'll be listening.
Thank you, my man. Take care.
That is the snowman himself. That is the voice of the Crimson Tide, Chris Stewart, joining us. You'll hear him at the top of the hour for Hey Coach coming up as the Crimson Tide once again dancing, and that is 4 years in a row for the Alabama Crimson Tide to be dancing. And when it's just kind of spotty, listen, I know from personal experience, the UAH Chargers, now listen, I know it's D2 and not D1, but the fact of being relevant and going dancing for 6 years in a row, and while I'm talking UAH Charger basketball, for those of you that may not know, it was officially announced today that John Schulman is now the new head coach at Central Arkansas. So he is moving on from UAH after a very successful tenure through 5 years. It was 5 consecutive years of the NCAA tournament, a couple of Sweet 16 runs, some just fun basketball to watch, and going to miss Coach Schulman. But I have no doubt that the administrative staff over there at UAH going to do their due diligence, hire the right person for both the men's and women's program there at UAH, and we are very grateful to have that relationship here at 97.7 ESPN The Zone between our station and UAH, and we will continue to do so moving forward. So sad to see Coach Schulman go. Certainly sad to see the season end how it did Saturday night against the 5 seed and Embry-Riddle. Embry-Riddle did not fare well against the big bad Nova Monster as they were put out in the tournament yesterday. So it's already Sweet 16 action in D2. And for maybe 3 or 4 of you, me included, that care, the Sweet 16 is, to me, the best 2 teams out of the region will be playing on Tuesday night, and that is Florida Southern taking on Nova Southeastern coming up Tuesday night for the right to go to the Elite Eight. But here's the thing about Nova Southeastern. So they went undefeated last year. They went stem to stern undefeated. And in this world of NIL, portal, Coach Crutchfield at Nova Southeastern lost every one of his starters off of last year's team. And yet they have lost, count them, 2 games this year. It's just nothing short of remarkable. So we have heard plenty on what needs to be done, what needs to be done, what needs to be done on this NIL. And that leads me into Mike Krzyzewski, who was a guest on the Dan Patrick Show. Worth a listen. It's a long interview, but they go in a lot of different directions. But the NIL conversation part of it, there is some wisdom here from the former Duke head coach.
It's complicated, but that's what leadership should figure out. You know, that's what big business does. That's what countries do. That's what, but who is doing that?
So you have no faith in the NCAA right now?
Well, I haven't had faith in the NCAA for a long time. And
just want to clarify that.
But what I think is the NCAA is a really good organization. The thing the NCAA does the best is run championships for Division 1, 2, and 3, and they run them in an outstanding manner. There's probably a level of rules or something that keeps us all together that we could have. But like Charlie Baker has put out, maybe there should be this elite division, or basically saying, what is football going to do? Well, let's find out what football is going to do. And if there's going to be another division, what does that do to the other three divisions? In other words, you don't just throw out stuff without saying, if they do this, it will lead to this. Yeah. And it doesn't make sense to me. And we spend a lot of time now trying in Congress so that we are protected antitrust-wise. And some of that is good, I think, but it's the purpose of it. If we protect it, let's go back to the old structure. See, I think we should restructure the NCAA. We should restructure college athletics, and then figure this thing out. What happens in the NCAA, in their transformation committees and all these committees, they're inundated with compliance people who are rule oriented, and they're good at that. Like, I have 10 rules and I'm going to make you obey them, or I'm going to punish you. That's not what we should be doing. Now, we should be, an entrepreneur doesn't think that way. And by the way, they should be an entrepreneur because they have this asset that's worth $1 billion that should be worth more if they negotiated it better. And it's a treasure. It's what makes the NCAA go. It's called the NCAA tournament. And we're in it right now because it started with all the conference tournaments to see who gets in.
There's a lot to unpack there, but the fact that so for the longest time, when someone would ask me about the NCAA, I would say, boy, they can run themselves a basketball tournament. That's basically what Coach K was saying right there. But the restructuring part of that, there is, I think, a lot of wisdom in what Coach Mike Krzyzewski is talking about, where there is a couple of writers out there that are pitting it Coach K versus Nick Saban. And what Nick had to say last week at D.C. compared to what Mike Krzyzewski said Friday on the Dan Patrick Show. But I would argue that they're more on the same boat than what's getting written about and trying to create clicks and all of that world. So just temper your writers are trying to get some clicks out there, and some of them are not doing it maybe in the most ethical way. So my advice would be, one, to ignore them, and two, to follow the people that are trying to get to this finish line the right way so we can all enjoy these college athletics that we all love, that we all grew up on, that we want to see continue to be just a fun thing to watch and a distraction from your 9 to 5 or your 7-day-a-week job, your overnight shift, whatever the case may be. So that's just my 2 cents. 256-576-4977, the telephone number. Is LSU Lynch still there, or?
Oh, he's still hanging on.
You better believe I'm going to go to LSU Lynch. What do you say there? You rooting for McNeese State against who do they have? Who does McNeese State have? They have Gonzaga. LSU Lynch.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Look here. I have not called in because my work. Look at who really give a care about the NIT. I mean, look here. Look at the teams that bowed out.
Yeah.
Here.
See, I bet more people know the teams that are not in the NIT than the actual teams that are in the NIT.
Well, I mean, and yes, and my second point being here, son, you know I love you, and I've been at happy hour here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you know
get your finger on the dump button. Just be on the
hovering and ready.
Yeah, all right.
Well, look here. I guarantee you, I'm not going to get the red flag today. But look here, who's going to win the bracket? In my opinion, okay, who are you picking?
Oh boy.
Lord Moulton, because I've known you for 20 years. Who's going to win it, son?
I have not gone through game by game. I have not done my bracket yet. Knee jerk, I want to say Houston. Houston, to me, is the most complete team that I have seen on a fairly regular basis. And yeah, there is a little tie-in because Bobby Champagne is on that staff, the former UNA men's basketball coach. So, but they're a fun team to watch, too. But knee jerk right now, Houston is playing really good. I know that's a 1 seed, so people are going like, oh, great, a 1 seed. If Tennessee can't do it this year, then I don't know when. I mean, I realize they just laid an egg against Mississippi State, but that's not always a bad thing. So if not this year for Tennessee, I don't know when for Tennessee.
All right, let me say that I know you got. Look here, give me 2 minutes.
All right.
Apparently, I got to catch in to the Tom Abraham show and all that.
Oh, boy.
Apparently, he was playing golf and laid a few Easter eggs, okay, out there.
Yeah.
But apparently, Mullet Man called in. Apparently, they're supposed to get together and get some clubs made or something like that that's supposed to help the Yankee man out.
Well, as long as he gets taken care of, that's the major point right there.
Look here. Go LSU. I don't care. Look here. Our softball team is doing great.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking my phone call, brother.
Thank you very much, LSU Lynch. So I guess he's filling out a women's bracket rather than a men's bracket for LSU Lynch. Hey, Coach comes up at the top of the hour with Snowman, a.k.a. Chris Stewart. Let's go ahead and take our final timeout. Final call for phone calls, 256-576-4977. It's the Monday edition of The Drive right here on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
In Tuscaloosa, we live by the blue-collar basketball motto.
Stepping back, deep three, bottom.
Hard work.
2-on-1, driving, stepping through, tough shot, got it to go.
Teamwork.
Play the song for the champions of the Southeastern Conference.
Join us for every game right here on your home for Alabama basketball.
Listen to Alabama basketball all season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
No payments for 90 days on 23 and 24 models. Financing as low as 0% and the best deals of the year on America's best-selling truck for 47 years in a row. Hi, folks. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, and I'm here to tell you it's Truck Month. The best deals on F-150, Explorer, Bronco, Edge, Bronco Sport, and Escape. During Truck Month, get financing as low as 1.9% for up to 72 months on 2023 F-150 Crew Cabs, and lease payments as low as $375 a month. That's a 36-month lease with $62.82 due at signing, 0 security deposit, just tax tag title, and your good credit. Offer ends 4/2/24. Call 539-9441 for complete details. At Woody Anderson Ford, we have over 40 Bronco Sports and nearly 50 Explorers and about a dozen full-size Broncos, all with great sales incentives and no payment for 90 days. Truck Month only happens once a year. Woody Anderson Ford, hope to see you soon.
AL cert number 21014.
Are those high utility bills driving you crazy this time of year? If they are, Talent Heating and Air has the special for you.
That's right. We're going to run a $49 spring checkup on your system. We're going to come out, we're going to check those heat kits, make sure that everything was working through the winter right, and then we're going to also make sure your Freon's good, make sure that you're ready for the summertime.
How important is that to be done this time of year?
It's really the most important time of the year. We can avoid safety concerns caused by wintertime use, and then we can also make sure that you're ready for the summertime.
And to get ready for the summertime, you just got to call
256-503-4490.
Or you can find them online at
talenthvac.com.
That's Talent Heating and Air. One more time.
256-503-4490.
Talent Heating and Air. Let them save you money.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, "If you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself."
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly clear sky as we head into the overnight. Temperatures drop into the upper 30s and lower 40s. Plenty of sunshine for your Wednesday. Wednesday really is going to be a great day across the Tennessee Valley. We get to enjoy plenty of sunshine, of course, and temperatures are going to be warmer. Highs climbing into the mid and upper 60s. We're dropping into the upper 40s, lower 50s as we head into the overnight. Early Thursday morning, a mostly cloudy to overcast sky for Thursday afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 60s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Each week, check out our latest Zone deal online at 977ESPN.com.
I'm eating good food.
We are 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Houston means that I'm one day closer to you.
I mean, that does kind of tie in with the Cougs.
Houston means the last day of the tour.
So now you're forcing me to pick Houston.
I just want you to have a little bit of idea how my head works. Because when you said Houston, this popped in my head.
I love it. Who sings it? I've never heard
that. That is Larry Gatlin and the Gatlin Brothers from 1981.
There you go. I love it.
Back in the day when I worked on the great big 100,000 watt blowtorch country favorite, Alabama 100.
There you go. Very nice.
Hi, Tony Lee.
So, I don't usually get to tell people about this on a Monday because our zone deals have just flown off the shelves. But I just checked during the break. There's one left. Bigfoot Little Donuts. I mean, do I need to say any more?
What are you doing?
Then Bigfoot.
What are you doing? How come you haven't gotten this yet?
There's one left. There's one left of getting $50 worth of big. So here's what I do. And yes, I have bought this deal plenty. Where it's two $25 gift cards. If you take one of them, just one of them, it's 3 10s. And they make the donuts in front of you right after you order them. I mean, there's one of them left for anybody that wants a donut. Just plan accordingly. Kevin is on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. What do you say, Kevin?
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good, good. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm in pretty good shape for the shape I'm in.
There you go. Rounds of shape, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Hey, my question is, how come we got 4 games to play in, and 2 of them is for 16 seeds and 2 of them is 10s? Why are they not all for 16 seeds?
I don't know the answer to that question. I really... Because, by the way, one thing that infuriates me, Kevin, since you went there, is the joker that says, well, if you're not in the top 68, then why aren't you in the tournament? Well, it's not the top 68 because the automatic qualifiers from these conferences. And there were fewer at-large teams this year because there was more automatic qualifiers. So because there's more conferences, because they're all trying to get into the tournament somehow, some way. So I know that doesn't answer your question directly, but I don't know, but I will look into it.
Well, I mean, if you're having to play in, you should be playing in for the bottom spot.
That makes a lot of sense. And keep in mind the words NCAA. So that may be part of your answer right there, Kevin.
Right. All right. Well, I appreciate you.
Thank you. I mentioned Houston. See, every time I'm going to say Houston, that song's going to be running through my head. But yes, sir.
Oh, I'm not some sort of schmuck that's just going to fire it up every time you say it.
Sean Farnham, he likes the defending champs to cut down the nets.
UConn is as tested and as good as anybody. We talk about this all the time. There's not a great team in college basketball. If we had a reigning champion, I don't like defending. So if we had a reigning NCAA championship team that went 31-3, what would we be calling them? Great. And yet, when it comes to UConn, we're like, I don't know. No.
They don't have any holes.
Like, they have no holes. They got multiple dudes. I mean, you look at Tristan Newton and Cam Spencer, the way they help run that offense. In the semifinals, they combined for 18 assists, and they both went over 20. They have 45 points and 18 assists between the two of them. All right, and then you got the big fella underneath, and then a cast of thousands around them that just clearly understand their role, accept their role, know how they have to play. I love this UConn team. I really do.
That's what Sean has to say. How about the folks at CBS Sports Network? Here is a little bit of a collage that I recorded off of their broadcast last night, again, courtesy of CBS Sports Network.
We're going to continue? Okay. South Carolina, Oregon. I'm going to take South Carolina. Amazing story. Picked at the bottom of the SEC. Lamont Paris in year 2 at South Carolina breaks through. I think he does get at least to the round of 32. Creighton, Akron. I'm going to take Creighton out of the Big East. Big East didn't get as many bids as the coaches in that league would have liked, but they've all got teams. The 3 teams they got in are all good enough to go to the Final Four. I'll take Creighton advancing into the round of 32.
Purdue, if it keeps things intact, I think should at least be in the Elite Eight here.
They should. It's set up for them, but it was set up for them last year as well. As always, we'll see. Purdue, Utah State, Danny Sprinkles first. Maybe his last year at Utah State, we'll see. But I think it ends here. Purdue advances to Detroit. Gonzaga, Kansas. I need to know who's healthy and who isn't, but just based on the quality of team throughout the season, Kansas has been the better team all season. I'll take Kansas to get past Gonzaga.
Okay.
We didn't tell you to go all the way to the second round.
He's eager.
I wasn't supposed to keep going?
That's not what Amy said.
I was ready to take it all the way to the Final Four, but if you want me to stop right there, Purdue, Kansas, obviously that'd be an incredible matchup. Assuming Hunter Dickinson is playing, you get Hunter Dickinson and Zach Edey. Those two guys have played against each other.
And also we got that potential matchup in Charlotte between Rick Barnes and his old team and his old assistant coach in Rodney Terry, who's now the head coach at Texas. So good storyline there. Gary, you think Creighton is a little bit the forgotten team in this region because it went out early to Providence in the Big East tournament?
Absolutely. That, and because UConn has dominated the conversation in that sport really from start to finish. Creighton, I don't know that they'll get to a Final Four. I should be very clear. When I say the 3 Big East teams that are in this tournament all are good enough to get to Final Four, that's what I mean. They're good enough. I don't know that they'll get there, but there aren't many leagues that have 3 legitimate championship contenders. The Big East does, and Creighton is one of them.
How far are you taking Creighton?
I've got them going to this round against Tennessee, and then I've got them losing to Tennessee. I'm going to have Tennessee and Purdue in the Elite Eight, the 1 versus the 2.
Moving on.
Coming right back to you really quick, Wally. What's your thoughts on where Texas A&M is at a 9 seed?
I think it's right. It's correct. I think that's a team that's going to be a toss-up pick-em game. That's a very physical team, and I honestly think if Texas A&M does get by Nebraska, they will be a better matchup for Houston.
All right. Let's keep it rolling.
I got NC State. They're riding high after winning that ACC tournament, though. They have the momentum going. They got some big guys down there that could be very big and physical.
I like that upset pick. I'm going with Kentucky. The Wildcats, despite the fact they're a bunch of neophytes that are really young, not experienced in the tournament, if they can get by this game, they're going to continue to gain confidence and experience. I like the Wildcats.
I got Florida winning this next game right here. Micah Heinlagen, he's a good big man who can score it and pulling. He has 15 points per game. He's a terror on the offensive rebounding and defensive rebounding, so I got them.
A lot of people like Kentucky. And listen, if you just look at talent-wise, talent for talent, Kentucky can stack up with anybody. And especially at the guard play, Dickie V went Kentucky to win the whole thing. So Of the 68 teams, I think you can make a legitimate argument for at least 9 teams. I'm going to say 9 teams. And one team to circle may be the Auburn Tigers. Auburn is very capable of making another Final Four run. And by the way, I know this is a football state. I'm well aware that this is a football state. But it is not crazy and lunacy to think about an IBOB Final Four. Alabama, Auburn, in Phoenix. Not crazy. It not crazy at all. I didn't say win it all. Hear me out. I didn't say win it all. I said Alabama, Auburn, Final Four in Phoenix. It lines up. Is it, I mean, not ridiculous, but I know the betting favorites are out there. Hard not to really like Houston and UConn, but those are 2 1 seeds. North Carolina, even though they stumbled against North Carolina State. By the way, great story there for the Wolfpack. Really one of my early childhood memories, showing my age, is that Cardiac Pack of 1983. And Jimmy V running around the pit there in Albuquerque looking for someone to hug. It just still is a great story, always will be a great story. And by the way, that tournament that year, 32 teams. So, I mean, it's keeps growing. I fully expect this tournament to be 76 teams next year. And I know on the football side, if you were listening to Feinbaum earlier, it sounds like 14 is done. We haven't even done 12 one year. And it sounds like 14 is a done deal for college football. Well, they sure can run themselves a basketball tournament, and they do. They run themselves a great basketball tournament, but the NCAA needs to get some guardrails so we can all move forward and get beyond all this. All right, Snowman, the comm is yours.
The company is Eagle Masonry and Insulation, but did you know they're also Eagle Landscaping and Dirt Work? Eagle can take care of all your landscaping needs, including irrigation, sod work, and planting.